to you, our viewers. It is more of a stay-in-bed kind of Monday since it's pouring out there. But we are glad that you are joining us this morning. Welcome to the new month. And it is, like Julie said, Women's Month, and specifically this is Women's Week. And we have an engrossing lineup concerning the women this entire week. So make sure you are tuned in to UBC for the latest in news and also the latest in business, sports, and everything that you has to do with updates and developments. And now, over the weekend, the CDF, and that is General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. You know, when Ugandans receive honors or are honored, we are always in high spirits, and we do appreciate such honors when they come from other countries. General Muhoozi received the African Leadership Award for Defense Excellency. He was applauded, and a lot of people had discussions about that. But yes, we do agree he really deserved the award. Good morning. And of course, Robert, how are you?
Well, I'm very fine because
it's raining.
Because Arsenal won a game.
You know, Manchester had their game first, and they won. Now, I was at a place, of course, if you support Arsenal, then you watch, and you are enemies. So after then, it was our game, and we got our first goal. Then they came in, they hit us, and equalized, and of course, we all went silent. And for us, usually, corner kicks result in 2 goals. For us, when we get a corner, it's more or less like a penalty. So there we went, we got another goal, and I must say the weekend was very okay with that victory.
Very interesting.
Because many thought that we could lose this game. And I think this is our season. This could be the long-awaited.
I hope we.
Well,
I hope we end up
into the 3rd position. I want to go much in sports. Ruben does that.
Ruben definitely will be coming through the sports. But what are you looking at?
Well, I'm kind of worried
about
when I see what is happening in Iran. When I see Israel, United States now. Trump made a statement. At one time, he says we attacked these people because of the weapons they're manufacturing. The next, he says the bad leadership. And the Iranians should celebrate that Trump has given them what they waited for a very long time.
Yeah, according to his speech.
He has removed the bad regime. Now he's going to usher in a good regime. And also, when we see Iran literate, hitting like Dubai, for example, a country like Dubai. Though you're targeting installations of the United States, really, I don't think things are going to go on very well. And more so, we've seen America has a history of countries that it has destabilized. Indeed. Look at Afghanistan. Afghanistan had their challenges. US went into there, used the people of Afghanistan. At one time, it departed and even left there its allies in hot soup that were helping it. Look at Libya.
Iraq.
It's a great nation. Look at Iraq. You know, and I think many Ugandans that are there and have hope in the US coming and changing. I usually see them towards elections. I think it was 2021 when there was some ship that even many marries and all that. You must know, look at their modus operandus. They destroy, they find a country that had gotten to some levels, and it's taken 30, 40 years back.
Especially if there's a mineral such as oil. Anyways, on that note, Robert, give us an update of what we have on the local scene. I know for sure that Joan, in some form or shape, has that story with its detail as to what's happening in Iran, given the attacks by USA and Israel. But what does the local scene have for us this morning?
Well, I have a very interesting story I want to start with. That is Jazz with Jaja, where the president was explaining to these people the focus sectors, taking them around. And most of them are waiting for the Luseke moment only.
In other words, they did not relate.
You would see them that, for them, they have what has brought them.
A lot of terminologies used.
Let me go to the story. At the 2nd edition of Jazz with Jaja in Kisozi, a youth and president engagement, the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, together with the First Lady Janet Museveni, held a tour session of their cattle farm. At the time of interaction with the youth, the president presented the 4 key sectors for the youth to tap in for inclusiveness at regional markets. The president, however, cautioned the youth to use and monitor the PDM, that is the Parish Development Model Funds, to engage in these 4 sector areas for wealth creation. The president and the first lady informed the youth on how there's a specific funding for the youth that have graduated from vocational centers to support their startup instead of relocating overseas for employment. They also cited how the new curriculum has positively changed the way learners adopt skills. The president raised concern of the youth understanding what society wants so as to do away with challenges of economic stagnation, with a big number of the youth to date engaged in the digital economy. The president said these will be supported in their field, giving reasons for their chain being a layer of advancement for different products and services. He noted how government is to continue improving the technology systems while supporting those on the operational side. Engineers in Uganda marked World Engineering Day with the 4th edition of the engineering run aimed to promote fitness and professional networking. World Engineering Day is celebrated globally on March 1st. In Uganda, the celebrations kicked off with a run covering 21 kilometers and 5 kilometers that started and ended at Chambogo Cricket Oval with more than 700 participants. The chief runner, Musa Echweru, emphasized the importance of regular exercise, noting that physical fitness enhances productivity and overall well-being. Civil engineer Allen Bananuka said such activities not only help engineers stay fit, but also provide an opportunity to network and share professional experience. Organizers said the annual run has continued to grow, reflecting increased awareness about health and unity within Uganda's engineering fraternity. School heads in universal primary education schools in Busoga sub-region are concerned over limited continuous assessment of learners, describing it as a major factor affecting academic performance compared to private sector. This was during a meeting with a team from the Dental Hygiene Quest initiative on health, hygiene, and learning improvement strategies in schools. School leaders said many public primary schools rely on end-of-term examinations with minimal routine assessment throughout the term. There is a claim that lack of frequent assessment denies learners the opportunity to gauge their understanding progressively and limits teachers' ability to track performance. Dental Hygiene Quest campaign of giving assessment tests to some random universal primary education schools is targeting learners in these schools. Education stakeholders reiterated calls for an increment in government capitation grant, saying the current funding remains inadequate. Currently, government provides 20,000 per UPE learner every year to support the education and instruction of materials, co-curricular activities, and school administration. And with that, we come to the end of our local stories. Let's see what our traveler has for us.
And right before Joan, you will pardon me, just a comment on what transpired in Kisozi. Uganda being 75% of youth, I think those who represented the youth, really it exposes the mindset and headspace where the majority youth are. And Muzei being a visionary at that, one would wonder, the majority he is leading, catching the same? That's a point of seller and a food for thought. Joan, what do we have on the foreign scene?
Of course, starting off with what is happening in Iran. Now, IDF tells residents of more than 50 villages in Lebanon to evacuate after Iran-backed Hezbollah fires rockets at Israel. Donald Trump says there will likely be more U.S. casualties during operations in Iran as military activity in the region will continue until all objectives are achieved. U.S. Central Command earlier said 3 U.S. service members have been killed in action and 5 seriously wounded. For Trump, each American casualty raises the stakes domestically, writes senior reporter Band de Basman Jr. Israel military says it has struck targets in Lebanon as Hezbollah retaliates to death of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei by launching missiles and drones towards Israel. Iranian officials say at least 153 people, including children, were killed after a strike hit a school, while in Israel, 9 people have been killed after a missile strike in the city of Beit Shemesh, and this is according to medical services. Now, Iran's foreign minister says a new leader could be chosen in a day or two after Khamenei was killed. A British RAF base in Cyprus was targeted by a suspected drone strike yesterday night, the British Ministry of Defense has said. Now, global oil prices have jumped when markets opened in Asia this very morning. And moving on, still about the Iran development, at least 153 people, including children, have died after a reported strike hit a school in southern Iran. This is according to Iranian officials. Iran has blamed the U.S. and Israel. The U.S. Military Central Command said it was looking into reports of the incident, while Israel's military said it was not aware of any IDF operations in the area. The girls' school was located in Minab, near an Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps base, which has previously been a target. At least 201 people have been killed in airstrikes in Iran and 747 hurt since Saturday, the Iranian Red Crescent said. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian called the incident a barbaric act and another black page in the record of countless crimes committed by the aggressors. In a statement reported in U.S. media, CENTCOM spokesman Tim Hawkins said, "We take these reports seriously. The protection of civilians is of utmost importance, and we will continue to take all precautions available to minimize the risk of unintended harm." The 6-day working week in Iran runs from Saturday to Thursday, with Friday being the only official day of rest, meaning the school was likely occupied when it was hit. Following the incident on Saturday, Red Cross and Red Crescent officials in Geneva said the society had mobilized response teams to go to the school. An official said that the school in the town of Minab in Hormozgan province had been targeted by 3 missile attacks. Looks like today, we do have dejected news all over. And coming back to the continent of Africa, kidnapping of foreigners soars in Africa's lawless Sahel region. When Marine Petrovic arrived in Bamako in early September last year, he was elated. The Bosnian national had spent years applying for tourist visas to Mali, only to be repeatedly denied on security grounds. The West African country has long been afflicted by civil war, foreign military interventions, and Islamist insurgencies. Now it has finally approved, and I couldn't wait to start this trip, he wrote on Bosnian in a public Instagram post on 15th November 2025. Petrovic declined to speak to the BBC for this article. The plan was to visit some of the country's dramatic landmarks before returning home. In Bamako, Petrovic enjoyed the sights and sounds of markets, busy roads, schools, and even sampled some local beers, according to the Post. The next day, I set off for Mopti, known for its 100-year-old mud mosque. He continued, referring to the Grand Mosque of Mopti, a 15-meter, 49-feet tall architectural feat made from mud bricks. And that brings us to the end of our international coverage. But be sure to always bring you the developments as they happen globally, specifically in this period, Iran.
Indeed, and as you speak of developments, updates coming through, of course, the fact that Iran's foreign minister says a new leader could be chosen in just a day or two after Khamenei's death. But as we speak, Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon exchange fire as conflict widens after attack on Iran. That is coming through right now from the BBC. But looking at what the dailies have this morning, and that is first starting with the Ugandan dailies. The new vision there, illegal taxi bus parks ordered out of Kampala. Over 40 gazetted passenger loading places to be closed. And picture there, Museveni meets the Bazukuru, that is jazz with Jaja. Iran war government issues advisory. One of the statements made in the advisory was Ugandans should leave Iran by any means possible. I wonder if these means have been provided.
No, also if the flying zones are not safe.
We are yet to find out from the Ministry of Foreign
CDF
Affairs.
wins Continental Award and IGG probes NDA board recruitment. Now looking at the Daily Monitor still in Uganda, how we have seen the war. Ugandans in the Middle East share experiences of the bombings, what war means for business, commodity prices, the top Iranian leaders killed in attacks, who takes over Iran after Ayatollah killing, tracing the Iran-US feud over decades. And USI in Uganda's minerals, telecom, schools at crossroads over source culture. Looking at what the rest of East Africa has, we can start with the East African there. UN, this is the problem with South Sudan. That's a headline in the East African, and more unease in the Congo. In tray for next Secretary General. And looking at what Tanzania with the Citizen has, the Citizen carries, do I have the Citizen this morning? Well, let me focus, yes, the Citizen there says East Africa financial strain triggers debate on defaulting states. And feasibility study for Chuchuma Liganga restarts as contract talks reach final stage. Vulnerable groups named in government issues, COVID-19 influenza alert, something to stay alert on. And finally, the Daily Nation in Kenya, MP Ngeno secret tapes that fixed Gachagua. That's the headline over there. And Iran, end of an era. That's the Daily Nation for you. A quick look at the Gazette this morning as of the 27th day of February 2026. Table of contents on there. But the notices to pay heed. To be known that on the 12th day of December 2025, Mugabe Godfrey, an advocate of the High Court, has been appointed to be a commissioner for oaths under the above-mentioned act for so long as he continues to practice such advocate, and the commission is not revoked. Given under the hand of the Chief Justice then, as by the 12th day of December 2025, Alphonse Chigamoy Owinyi Dolo, and be it known that on the 12th day of December 2025, Atkunda Irene, an advocate of the High Court, has been appointed to be commissioner for oaths under the above-mentioned act for so long as she continues to practice as such advocate, and the commission is not revoked, given under the hand of the Chief Justice then, Alphonse Chigamoy Owinyi Dolo. And the place of marriage to be celebrated, Days of the Voice Fellowship, that is the church. Denomination is Born Again Village in Mbalwa Parish, Chaliwa Jala Sub-County, Namugongo Division, Country, Uganda, and District in Wakiso as of the 12th day of February 2026 by Honorable Norbert Mao, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. It's exactly 7 a.m. We come back with a conversation on Forex trading in Uganda. For now, let's have a short break. We'll be right back. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, a very good morning to you indeed. A rainy one at that, but from America's and Israel's attack on Iran to the presidential pardon granted by President Museveni to Mohamed Sebufu, to Arsenal beating Chelsea in yesterday's game, EPL game. I know Robert has a lot to say about that. Welcome back from the weekend. What a weekend, what a month end. Welcome to the new week and welcome to the new month, International Women's Month. It is Good Morning Uganda. My name is Julie F. Nantaba with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintano and Joan Murunje. Good morning, Joan.
Good morning, Julie, and good morning to you, our viewers. It is more of a stay-in-bed kind of Monday since it's pouring out there, but we are glad that you are joining us this morning. Welcome to the new month, and it is, like Julie said, Women's Month, and specifically this is Women's Week, and we have an engrossing lineup concerning the women this entire week. So make sure you are tuned in to UBC for the latest in news and also the latest in business, sports, and everything that you has to do with updates and developments. And now, over the weekend, the CDF, and that is General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. You know, when Ugandans receive honors or are honored, we are always in high spirits, and we do appreciate such honors when they come from other countries. And General Muhoozi received the African Leadership Award for Defense Excellency. He was applauded, and a lot of people had discussions about that. But yes, we do agree he really deserved the award. Good morning. And of course, Robert, how are you?
Well, I'm very fine.
Because it's raining.
Because
Because it is
Arsenal won a
raining.
game.
You know, Manchester had their game first,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
they won. Now, I was at a place, of course, if you support Arsenal, then you watch, and you are enemies. So after then, it was our game, and we got our first goal. Then they came in, they hit us,
Equalized towards the
and
second
equalized, and of course, we all went silent. And for Arsenal, usually corner kicks result in 2 goals. For us, when we get a corner, it's more or less like a penalty. So there we went, we got another goal, and I must say, the weekend was...
MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Live from UBC.